Hi guys, Rocky Scott here, NMLS ID 1698700. It is Tuesday tool time and we have a lot to cover. So I'm going to hit three things. The first is, what does 2024 look like when we think about the Federal Reserve and their plans with their rates? Now again, the Federal Reserve, they have their own rates that are used to borrow money between banks and so forth. They decide our monetary policy for the United States. So they have a few roles. And in past years, the Federal Reserve did not directly affect mortgage rates. And that's still true, except that when the Federal Reserve raised their rates so quickly in 2022, we definitely had to respond. Investors had to raise their rates just because they're worried about the margin and things like that, right? So, how investors make their money cause them to raise rates. And true today is that as the Federal Reserve lowers their rates, we're still going to see a slow decline. So all that to say this, when does the Federal Reserve expect, or when do we expect the Federal Reserve to start lowering their rates? Well, tomorrow is the December 13th meeting. That is their last meeting, of course, for 2023. And we are watching to see what the Federal Reserve is going to say. But at this point, there is anticipation as early as March of next year that we see the interest rates, the Federal Reserve lower their rates, and then it pretty much is 100% expectation that by summer the Federal Reserve is lowering their rates. And of course, if you watched Buffini's bold predictions yesterday, you heard where he's expecting, or many are expecting, interest rates to be in the fives by the end of 2024. And of course, that it does look consistent. And we're hoping, I would even be excited about low sixes that we can buy down into the fives. Okay, so good news on the horizon, and we will be seeing what the Federal Reserve says tomorrow, December 13th. So next thing, I have actually mentioned this before. I've done a whole nother Tuesday tool time, but it's just worth mentioning as we head into winter and things slow down, which is very normal, especially if we do get a lot of snow this winter season. You're going to have sellers, your sellers will be debating, my home has been sitting on the market, should I reduce my rate, my sales price or list price? Should I offer a seller concession? And I just want to remind you about list and lock. It is a great alternative. If the seller is going to offer a big concession, then list and lock allows an interest rate to be locked in, and you can advertise that rate on the out before a buyer comes. So it's just an amazing market value to have a below market rate advertised and already locked in for that listing. Another thing, of course, is a 2-1 buy down, 3-2-1 buy down, things like that. We all have lots of options. So if you have any questions or want more information, watch my previous Tuesday tool time, or of course, just reach out to me. Okay, and then finally, we do have a product called Rate Rebound. And it's worth mentioning because all lenders at the moment have some form of refinance, buy with us, refinance with us, and we're going to waive fees. But at Select Lending, we are waiving our branch fees, appraisal fees, the credit report, the tax certification. So we're waiving a good chunk of fees. And in addition to that, we're giving $1,000 credit to be used for other closing costs. It has to be after a 6-month period. It has to be a net benefit, that refinance. But of course, we're expecting that we're going to refinance because of a benefit, a lower interest rate. And it is good for 5 years. So buy with Select Lending, refinance later, and you are going to get a really good reduction in costs just through our specific Rate Rebound program. So any questions, reach out to me. Thanks. Bye.